Welcome to another Fafnir guide. Today's guide is about Mikanko, the new one-turn kill deck that utilize the worst kind of spell cards in this game, which is equipped spell cards. Why is it the worst spell cards? Because there are other continuous and field spell cards that can do better. For example, Black Pendant equipped spell, it give the equipped monster plus 500 attack points. But if the equipped monster removed from the field or flip face down by Book of Moon, the equipped spell card is destroyed because it's losing the target and have no purpose anymore, making you losing 2 cards advantage from one simple disruption, which is a bad trade. While this field spell Seal of Orichalcos, adding the same amount of attack points, but it applies to all monsters you control. Since this card applies to the field, the removal of the monster doesn't affecting the field card's presence on the field. Plus, equipped spell is weak against monsters that are untargetable, but cool thing is, it still can be equipped by an unaffected monster. So that's a design flaw, and the reason why Evil Eye and Noble Knight are not popular. All they can do is to stay as a rogue deck. But now Mikanko is here, and it's bringing the storm to masterduel meta play. Most of the Mikanko equip card, instead of increasing or decreasing the numbers, it give the equipped Mikanko monster a protection against destructions. This kind of things is actually reducing the flaw mechanic of equip spell. And 3 of them on activation have an effect to special summon Mikanko from other places. The fire equip can special summon Mikanko from hand or graveyard and equip to them. The water equip can special summon Mikanko from deck by returning the current equipped monster and re-equip to the newly summoned Mikanko. The green Mayo equip can activate from graveyard and special summon Mikanko from graveyard and equip to them. These kind of playstyle is fixing another flaw mechanic of equip spell, where you usually lose a lot of resources in your graveyard. There are 2 more Mikanko equip spell, but I better explain them in tips and tricks later. We have 3 effect monsters, the sword, the mirror, and the jewel. Ha-Ray the sword Mikanko. If an equip card equipped to this monster, it will trigger to add another Mikanko equip spell from deck. Ni the mirror Mikanko. While equipped to an equip card, only during opponent's turn, have a quick effect to target opponent's monster and take control of it until end phase. Huli the jewel Mikanko. If you control an equip card, all of your Mikanko cards on the field, including your Mikanko equip spell, becomes untargetable. As you can see from this video, runic spell can't even use their effect that target our cards on the field. All these 3 girls, while equipped, cannot be destroyed by battle, and able to reflect any battle damage you take to your opponents. This is a lingering effect, so there will be no activation at all. If you don't know what is lingering effects, you can check this short videos, link in description. As you can see, all of them are 0 attack and 0 defense points, so it will reflect the damage 100% of the attacked monster back to our opponents. And that's what make this deck are deadly with Kaiju. Beside those 3 girls, we also have another girls, Ohime and Arahime, but currently we only have Ohime in masterduel. Ohime is a ritual monster. Yes, this deck also have a ritual spell, but we don't use it. Instead, we use this quick play spell, Ceremony, to special summon Ohime, ignoring the summoning condition, and return her to hand during opponent's end phase. This makes Ohime to not summon properly, which means we can't re-summon her back from graveyard with the fire equip or the green Mayo equip. If you're confused about this ruling, you can check this short video link in description. Ohime on the field already have the battle protection effects and damage reflection effects without having an equip card equipped to her. So since she gonna comes back to our hand later, if you want to protect it with an equip spell, better equip it with the green Mayo one, since it's still usable in the graveyard when it gets destroyed by the time Ohime return to hand. Ohime have another quick effect to target any equip spell in your graveyard, and equip it to any monster on the field. She is one of the reason we play a weird equip card like Axe of Fools and Double-Edged Sword. As you can see here, Psychic End Punisher is unaffected by activated cards effect, but Ohime is simply equipping, By targeting the equip spell and equip Psychic End with Axe of Fools and negate it, this is one of the best way to utilize her quick effects. Another way is to equip your opponent's monster with Rondo, another Mikanko equip spell, and instantly take control of that monster as long as you control a Mikanko monster on the field. I remind you that this won't affect monster like Blackwing Full Armor Master. Since the wording is a bit different, it says unaffect by card's effect, while Psychic End and Noah are not. That's all I can explain about Mikanko. Here's the deck list that I used. I'm using the Going Second OTK Mikanko. There's also another variant, Libromancer Mikanko and Infernoble Mikanko, which both of them are just typical turn 1 combo using generic boss monster in the end board. But today I'm gonna teach you about Going Second Mikanko, because the deck itself is way cheaper compared to those turn 1 combo variant. In this combo section, I'm just gonna play in turn 1 just to show the basic combo, but most of the time, it's preferable to go second instead, which I will show you some go second play you can do later on. Ohime plus any small Mikanko plus Kaiju. Ohime plus Water Equip plus Kaiju. Ohime plus Fire Equip plus Kaiju. Those are basic 3 girls combo against 1 monster. It could be better if your opponents have multiple monster, but make sure to Kaiju the monster that can negate spell first. As you can see, Ohime is the consistency boost for this deck. She literally fixing your hand and get what you need. That's why in the deck list I use Small World to search her. But it also can be used to search Lava Golem or any kaiju. Just make sure to add Archfiend Eccentric to your deck. Next are some advanced going second combo you can do in some different situation. Hidden Armory plus Water Equip plus Kaiju. This one is kinda tricky, and your opponents must at least have 2 monsters on the field, but this combo is one of safest OTK combo this deck can provide. Double-Edged Sword is our one Mikanko OTK enabler. This one, in case our opponents notice we are playing a going second OTK deck and decide not to summon any monster, here is the way to OTK without using any kaiju. Hidden Armory plus Ohime or anything that can search her plus any small Mikanko or Ceremony or Green Mayo equip. There's also another empty board OTK. In this part, our opponents activate a monster hand trap. For example, Max C. Ohime plus either the sword Mikanko or Green Mayo plus any small Mikanko plus Kaiju. Ohime plus sword plus fire dance plus kaiju. So that's all the combo that I can provide. The rest is really depends on your opponent's board and your hand-drawn cards, which is why I'm gonna show and break down some of my most awesome replay I have. Here is the first replay. In this situation, I think opponents is brick, and decide just to set a monster and pass. But as you can see in my hand, I have Lava Golem, where it needs 2 monster to tribute and summon. People who going first and brick their hand, most of the time they got more hand traps instead of combo starter. So I tried to bait it with preparation, and it successfully bait Ash Blossom. So I just gonna use my Hidden Armory to add Fire Dance, equip, and activate to summon the sword, and you also able to summon another monster from opponent's graveyard to their field. With these, I can summon Lava Golem on their field, and since I have another hidden armory, I just search Double-Edged Sword and finish it, even if I don't have another hidden armory. With these hand, I can still summon 3 girls and finish it. In the second replays, as you can see here, Masquerena is our only threat here. So I decided to use Rondo to bait its Masquerena, and if they decided not to activate Masquerena, I can just normal summon my Mikanko, and it automatically steal Masquerena without starting a chain. In here, Masquerena activate its effect, and decide to summon Avramax. With Avramax here means we must summon 3 girls to OTK, plus the untargetable protection of Avramax makes it immune to be equipped by Axe Fools or Double-Edged Sword. So my best choice here is to get any kaiju from deck, using Small World, and sacrifice my only Mikanko girl to grab a kaiju monster. Tribute Avramax, and now we can equip it to Double-Edged Sword to finish it with just one Mikanko, but Avramax has another effects in Graveyard and decide to return my kaiju to deck. But don't worry, we still have another dead monster on the field, and just finish it with Double-Edged Sword. In this third replay, I was playing against Runic, and I was also under Max C, means I can also use the empty board OTK combo. As you can see here, we have a kaiju, Preparation Witch is another Ohime, Hidden Armory for Double-Edged Sword, and 1 Mikanko girl with a Small World, in case the preparation got negated by Ash Blossom. But since we play against Runic and all of Runic's cards are targeting effects, we need to get the Jewel Girl on the field as our first summon, so all of our Mikanko cards won't be interrupted by Runic spells. This means we must not use any of the Double-Edged Sword or Axe of Fools, because Jewel won't be able to protect them. So I decided to use Hidden Armory to get Water equipped and equip it to our kaiju. This is kinda risky because the Water equip's still vulnerable to Runic spells, but I'm taking the risk anyway. With these, all of our Mikanko cards are protected from targeting, but we got another problem here. We need another monster on opponent's field to summon our kaiju again, so we need the Fire Dance equip. I make mistakes before. I should have added another small Mikanko instead of Ceremony, so I end up using Small World Exchange Ohime with any small Mikanko from deck. Activate Fire Dance and summon our added Mikanko, and then summon that Max C from Graveyard and tribute it for kaiju. As you can see here, the Runic spell can still be activated, but they cannot choose the targeting effects, so they must use the special summon effects instead. And with that, we can safely win the duel by minimizing the disruption we get. The fourth replay is basically the same like Runic 1, but without kaiju. As long as our opponents controls a monster that does not negate and have attack and defense above 2700, we should be fine. In here I discard the trap card. You will see why. Pudica here is supposed to target our monster, but it cannot because of Jewel. I use Ceremony to send Fire Dance equip, and it triggered the trap card to let us grab the Fire Dance to our hand. And with that, we can just attack that Lady Labyrinth and finish the game. That's all for it, and lastly for you, here are some tips and tricks that I can provide. Diviner Engine. This one is not a tips, but more like a warning if you want to use this engine just to search Ohime from deck. Diviner requires you to normal summon, but then Hidden Armory and Lava Golem will lock you from normal summoning. If you open both of Diviner and either of Lava Golem or Hidden Armory, one of them will become a dead card on your hand, so I don't recommend it. There's another card that can do the same thing without normal summoning, Extra Foolish Burial, but it requires you to pay half life points, which renders you unable to use Double-Edged Sword to OTK. That's why I prefer to use Small World, since it can be used to search either Ohime or the needed kaiju from deck, just by adding one more Garnet Archfiend Eccentric, which if you open her on hand, you can still use her to destroy one back row card's opponents have. Reflection Rondo. On activation, it's simply equip. After it resolve, if you control a Mikanko monster, it's instantly switching side to your field. This effect can affect an unaffected monster such as Psychic End Punisher and Exporly Noah. This show how equip spell can be really terrifying if used correctly. The downside is that monster is negated while under your control. Charmers. One of the reason we bringing Charmer is in case you manage to steal a monster, especially some good monsters like Psychic End, you can link off the stolen monster with one of Mikanko and summon the same attribute Charmer as that monster and resummon that stolen monster back to your side. You are now own the monster that are not negated. Purification Dance. If you playing the Going First variant, I suggest to bring one of these in your deck list. While equipped, it becomes another disruption on opponent's turn. Sadly, we don't use this in Going Second version. Hidden Armory. Keep in mind that to activate Hidden Armory, you must not using your normal summon at all. Same goes with Lava Golem. Once your normal summon, they becomes a dead card on your hand. Double-Edged Sword. Be careful when using this equip card. When it equip, make sure count the total attack numbers and compare it to your life points. If your life points is higher, you are good to go, or else you're gonna get a draw. Metal Silver Armor. This one also not a bad tech cards. This makes Duel Mikanko able to protect monsters other than Mikanko, but mostly used in Going First variant. Defense Zone. If you are having problem protecting your equip cards, you can bring this to your deck. I believe 2 copy is enough. Nibiru. One of the best hand trap this deck can bring. You can get this one card with 700 gems plus 10 master packs opening, which you could get another SR cards that you can dismantle and craft those needed SR cards if you are on budget. Red Reboot. One of the best cards to counter trap deck, which is the worst matchup for Mikanko. It can activate from hand, but it requires to pay half of your life points, so Double Edge is not an option unless your opponent's field are empty. That's all that I can provide. If you like it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it. See you next time.